What is up, everyone? Welcome to Reality Room Podcast with Paul
and Miranda,
bringing you the latest Houseguest Analysis for Big Brother 21, which was just released this morning. And oh my God, I mean, like, a lot of these house guests, like, I wasn't too impressed when I was looking at them, but watching some of the videos, some of them were okay, some of them were kind of whack. Miranda, some impressions that you had first when you first saw them?
I think we'll agree to disagree here. Like, at the first look of the cast, I liked the looks of the cast. I wasn't mad about it, and I think that they definitely cast, like, I'm not mad about the diversity here, and I definitely I like their videos too. There are just a lot of, I feel like a lot of the men, I just kind of slept through their videos. I'm very interested in some of the females this season.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I was interested in just a few people, but we'll definitely get to that. One thing I do want to make a comment of: everyone has a dog, and like 5 or 6 people mentioned a dog in their interview. So I just want to, I'm a dog lover, love dogs. So when the first when two people said it, I was like, "Yo, this is awesome!" And then when it came to the 6th person, I was like, "All right."
It's the twist of the season. Dog lovers.
They're gonna have so many dogs in the house. They're gonna do that same thing they did in BB16. All right. But now let's get started with our Big Brother 21 house guest analysis. And let's get to our first house guest. Our first house guest is Holly Allen. She is 31 years old. She lives in LA, but she's from Wyoming. She's a wine safari guide, which we'll get to in a second because that's really bizarre. She does not have a favorite house guest because she says that she has not watched enough of the show, but she somehow magically knows Jeff and Jordan when she walked in.
It's almost like she watched them in Sequester or something.
It's almost like. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I think she definitely watched Jeff and Jordan in Sequester. First of all, everyone seems to like Jeff and Jordan this season, which is strange and bizarre, and I'm not really sure what the logic is behind that. But yeah, she doesn't outright say it, but she's probably a recruit. She mentioned Jeff and Jordan. She's
definitely a recruit. No way she's not.
Oh, no.
You're 100% right.
No way she's not. She's used to no cell phones and internet. So on one hand, I can see her do well in the mental aspect of this game, because that's a part of the game that a lot of people often overlook. Like, I don't think a lot of people are very fit for this game. We saw Sam last season.
Yeah, she kind of blew up.
She blew up, but I think
she threatened to kill people.
She threatened to kill people. She threatened to curb stomp people, but
I mean, then maybe they deserved it though. Just a thought.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
But I can also see her, on another hand, just not connecting as well with a lot of the house guests, and how she didn't really grow up knowing pop culture. She seems fairly charming, but she also seems to enjoy talking about herself a lot. So I feel like that might cause a disconnect with the fellow contestants, and she has too strong of a sense of morality to me. Like, she's not really willing to do anything to win, and she won't win. She'll probably get pre-jury.
Okay, that's an interesting prediction. I mean, nothing about her really stuck out to me other than the part where she said she wants to rescue dogs, and it's like, okay, cool, great, I love it. But she claims to be spontaneous, sarcastic, and relentless. I didn't really see any sarcasm in that interview at all, from what I remember.
Didn't see a lot of spontaneity either.
Well, maybe we'll see. We'll see. That's something that shows itself over time. But sarcasm you'll expect in an interview, and she also relentless. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll find out. She wants to make alliances and wants to be trusted, but hopes her trust in people doesn't bite her. Basically, I mean, like, you want to build relationships with people and you want loyalty. I mean, it's going to happen one way or the other. Either you're going to stab them or they're going to stab you, or you're going to stay loyal to the end. In this game, more than likely, one of you is going to stab each other. So maybe don't do the trust thing in the first place. There's a thought, Holly.
maybe be the one to do it before they do it to you. Like maybe that's a thought that kind of says it. That question right there says it all. And like with what you were saying earlier, I think we'll see a lot more come out with maybe like different sides of these people come up with the Ica interviews tomorrow.
Oh, very true, very
I
true.
feel like Ica will kind of
drag something out of them.
Drag something out of them, right? Whereas Jeff doesn't really do a good job of that.
Should we say Jeff or should we say CBS? We'll say Jeff because you know you never know if something can happen with CBS one day. But she also said she wants to lose and be loved, which is a classic error that maybe 80% of the cast have made during the interviews. So initially, this was the first interview I watched. Initially, I was upset, and then I realized, oh, most of the cast are just, not intelligent.
It's a large majority of them.
Yeah, it's just a large majority. All right, I mean. Yeah, placement wise, I mean, I can see her floating around, maybe making it to jury, but yeah, pre-jury is probably a safe bet. But then again, I think I'm going to say pre-jury for a lot of these people. So there's always yeah, go ahead.
I also jotted down pre-jury for a lot of these people, but, and we'll touch on this later. But I just want to mention she has a dog named Jackson, and there's a Jackson in the cast. So is there a partner twist? This is no.
Dude, that'd be so wow. Okay, we're gonna talk about potential twist at the end, but
we will talk about these rumors at the end. But a dog named Jackson, contestant named Jackson, similar.
I see it. I see it. All right, let's get to our next contestant. We have David Alexander, who's 29 years old. He's from Atlanta. He's a photographer. They didn't seem to even ask him who his favorite house guest was, which really just makes me believe that he is a total recruit. And it's because his plan was to watch 2 seasons to get a feel for the strategy of the show, and then claimed on the interview with Jeff to have become a fan recently. Miranda, thoughts?
Yep, he definitely said that. He said he's a recent fan, so he's most likely 100% a recruit as well as 80% of this cast, maybe 90. And that's not being generous.
Except for Ivy.
First of all, he has my sister's ex's full name, which is interesting. So I feel like that's probably a bad omen, but I'm going to hold out hopes for David. And he seems very level-headed, and he seems very easy to connect to and have conversations with, and I think he has a decent strategy. I mean, like the basic sliding to the middle of the game until you have and then it works as long as you don't make yourself a target, which I feel like he might not, but I can also see it going the other way. I can also see him being a target, not knowing what to do with it and not knowing how to talk himself out of it.
He says he wants to like get to know people personally, have a strong social game. He did say, and I'm always impressed with like the newbies that know like the general strategy of throwing competitions early on. So I'm glad that he said that. But he also said it's very hard for him to lie. So it's not it's not really going to work if you don't lie. I mean, he can, or what he's basically saying. I don't know. Is that him saying he can't lie or he's bad at lying? It's hard for me to read that, but he's got to lie. Got to do it. Thoughts?
I think he was kind of saying it from like a morality standpoint too. Like he's not lying.
Morality. Ooh, big brother.
Big brother. Because he also talks about, and it seems like he wants to be himself and doesn't care what people think. But I think that people are going to take advantage of him, and I think he's going to be blindsided. And I think I think people will find it easy to take advantage of him because of that, and because of his honesty and what he wants to bring to the game.
It's unfortunately very, very possible. I mean, like there are ways that people like him could go further in this game, and that's if he has like a friend group or something, or like an alliance early on, and then they get totally blindsided. Like some people really learn aspects of the game early on, and he could be one of those people if it happened to him. But it's such like a low percentage shot. I think he's just going to be a general floater. He'll probably make jury, but he's just going to float there.
Right.
David's gonna do David.
David.
Yeah. And a fun fact about him is that he can control his tear ducts, which, if he can utilize that crying thing, I think that could get him really far. Like, I can see if he's there for like 6-7 weeks getting a feel for the game finally, he'll just start randomly bawling at the prospect of putting someone on the block, and they'll totally get on their good side. And, that would be fun to see. But, does he have it in him? Is he too honest? Miranda, what do you think?
Well, we'll see. His honesty and his morals will be put to the test in this game. And I mean, I don't really think there's any way to tell other than what he's saying. And what he's saying is that he's going to be a stand-up guy. So I have no other reason to not think that.
Fair enough. All right, then let's get to our next house guest. We have
Nicole.
Yes, our girl Nicole Anthony. She's 24 years old. She's from Long Island, New York, with a very New York accent, which I love. Don't usually love New York accents, but you don't expect it from her. She's a preschool aide, claims to be hardworking, determined, and hilarious. Favorite house guest, Paul Abrahamian, and seemed to be a super fan. Miranda, thoughts?
Well, she really reminds me of an old friend that I know. Like, she's really quirky, she's smart, she's a preschool teacher, but she also seems batshit, right? Like, I think people might not believe her if she says she's a preschool teacher, which I think she plans on saying. She didn't really indicate otherwise, because of Big Brother's past. So that might make her look sketchy immediately, even though she's genuinely a preschool teacher. She said that she plans to play dumb, which probably won't work in her situation. Like, sometimes there's a point to playing dumb, but I don't think there's a point in her case, and I don't think that's the best for her personal situation. I think there's a slight possibility of her being an early target, like I'm probably going to say about everyone, but there are definitely a few that stick out more, and she's one of the ones that sticks out as an earlier target. I also mentioned that she might be she's probably most likely to be in a Faute type alliance and be the one to make it flop. You mentioned that she's gonna get along with other quirky, genuine people, maybe just the outcasts of the game, and I feel like she'd be most likely to get something like that together and be a Caitlyn of it.
I don't know. I mean, I had a very different impression. Very, very, very different. I did not like her the first 30 seconds, but it might have just been the New York accent, after watching her for a little bit. But she really did grow on me. The second she said, I'm going to hide being a super fan, I'm like, yeah, she could do it. Johnny Mac hid being a super fan for 90 days, and he's basically as quirky as this girl is. So maybe this is the female Johnny Mac. Which would be, yeah, you know what? That's what it is. This is fucking female Johnny Mac. There you go.
Female Johnny Mac. Unfortunately, it might not work out. Well, she's a female.
Now, she does say she has a big mouth, and maybe that will make her a target. But I'm optimistic about her. Maybe not rightfully so, but. Super fan, knows the strategy, and New Yorker. There's nothing I can't love about it. And she says she does not like people who want the world to burn, which I thought was an interesting thing. But I know a lot of people who want the world to burn, and sometimes I think everyone at some points wants it to burn. Sometimes. #QuirkyQueen. This was a good line. She said. The other people are my game pieces, but they are still people.
Did she say that? Because I didn't catch that, but I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
People. That's what a lot of people forget. And that's where just the empathy with the jury really comes into play with Paul's two times losing and everything.
Yes.
Empathy with the jury is a really big one, and people often overlook it.
Yeah, you're 100% right. It's the last 5 seasons, people forgot what a jury was. Everyone is so fake or whatever. They do what they have to do to say to the jury. Jury management is like 101. It's like, in all of these games, but especially Big Brother, because people get so offended because they have nothing else to think about.
Oh, absolutely. And naturally, most people are emotional before they're logical, so you really have to play into that.
That's true. That's very true.
I think she has a lot of good points. I could see her being in trouble early, and she says that she likes standing up to bullies, that she hates bullies.
Oh, no. Damn it.
Yeah, I feel like if she can pull that off in a strategic way and not just go off on someone who's a bully, because most likely the person who's a bully, it might be in the majority alliance.
Yeah, more than likely.
More than likely, if you're bullying someone, you're confident enough because you're in the majority alliance. So
yeah, you have power somewhere.
If you can figure out how to go off on bullies strategically, I think that would be great.
I'm just going to channel Nicole right now. Just don't go after the bullies, all right? Just don't have a verbal confrontation. It's not going to work out well for you. Fun fact about her. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was just saying plant seeds instead, Nicole.
There you go. Fun fact, she's a grammar-loving enthusiast, which I read as just being a PC term for grammar Nazi. So luckily you don't need any no one writes in the house, so it won't really come into play.
Yeah.
With that, we'll go on to our next house guest. And boy, oh boy, we have a lot of New Yorkers this season. We have Tommy Bracco. He is 28 years old. He's from Staten Island, New York, and he is a Broadway dancer. He claims to be optimistic, driven, and over the top. His favorite house guest, Devon. Miranda, thoughts?
Well, immediately, my favorite thing about that interview was Jeff's face when he mentioned he was a Broadway dancer. Jeff just goes, you could tell his whole demeanor changed completely. And he wants to be the Italian mom of the season. He wants to cook and clean and be there for people and do whatever. So move over, June Song. His favorite player is Ian, which I can kind of see, because I can definitely see him likely to coast or float. And he mentioned that he does want to throw comps until halfway through. But I think he's thinking long term, and I think that his prospects are good.
Yeah, I mean, I very much enjoyed him, and and I didn't think I would when I saw him. Because I'm from Staten Island, so I know what the people in Staten Island are like mostly. But he seemed very, very fun. The Italian mom thing was really well. I don't think it's gonna work, but it's a fun thing to say.
It's cute.
Yeah, it's cute. He wants to play the underdog, to have a good time. Doesn't want people to know that he's like a gamer. He wants to be like that fun guy in the house. That fun guy doesn't want that people don't think are really playing the game, and to really bring it up in the middle, I guess. I mean, it could. I think, but I was thinking when I was watching it, I'm like, that could also turn around, because sometimes people want to get rid of the likable people. So I've been thinking about that a lot. But I guess if he gets a good group of people early on, he could probably stick it out.
But the likable people often don't go pre-jury. They're likable enough to have the votes, unless it's a really bandwagon house mentality.
Right.
Unless there's a big majority consensus, whatever, and everyone just goes with the flow, which I don't think will happen in this season, just based off of this cast. I don't know if that'll happen. I think people have contrasting enough ideas about the game. I think a majority of them want to lay low at the beginning, but I think there are enough that really want to win the first HOH,
right
out there.
I have learned over the years to not be optimistic about this game. I always expect the worst. I expect a 10-person alliance, episode 2 and 3. I expect the first 4 weeks to be boring as hell. But you know what? It's this expectations that when good things finally happen like they did last season, I'm happy with. But and I don't know. I mean, I like Tommy. I like Tommy. I'm gonna say he's gonna make it to jury. Maybe. Yeah, he'll make it to jury. I'll say it definitively. He'll do it. Stand on and represent.
I'm going to agree with that too. I'm going to agree with like jury to mid-jury, just somewhere in jury, because he's a social player with a potential to win comps. And I think that's fantastic. But what you were saying something about a 10-person alliance. Who was it that mentioned that they wanted to make the biggest alliance in Big Brother?
Yes. There was someone who said that, but he said he thought about it and like when he was sequestered and he realized how dumb of an idea that was. We'll get to him later. He's like Houseguest.
I just don't remember who that is. So if you can get to bring that up,
I will bring it up when we do, because I thought it was the funniest shit ever. But first, we'll get to our next house guest. We have our girl Catherine Dunn. She is 29 years old. She lives in Dallas, and she is a digital marketing executive. She claims to be reliable, hardworking, and fun. She also does not want to pretend that she watches Big Brother and pick a favorite and pick a favorite for no reason, just to cater to fans, which I respected, actually. Miranda, thoughts?
Yeah, well, she says that, but then she also in the interview said that she loves Big Brother. It's the only show that she watches.
Right.
She had a TV 2 months ago, and she, just the typical recruit. She thinks Casey was a good player.
I mean, Casey was a good person.
Casey's a good person.
She thinks Casey was a good player.
Sometimes that's all you need to win Big Brother.
That's true. I mean, beat Tyler.
Or being the better person. Let's put it that way.
I mean, it's a low bar in Big Brother. That's like down there.
Well, right. On the other hand, she says that she's willing to backstab, but she also wants to seem nice. So I think she could be the two-faced bitch that we deserve.
Ooh.
The one smiling to your face, telling you sweet nothings and then stabbing you in the back. And I just really want to see that from her. She said a lot of other things that made me think she's really competitive. Not like really competitive, but pretty competitive too. She mentioned that she might backdoor your faves, which I love. It shows that she doesn't really care about the public's perception of her, which I like. And I hope that doesn't hold her back, even though she's an aspiring influencer, because she said that, people will follow you anyway. Like
that's true. Even if you're hated, people still follow you. Like I work with them, but I work with influencers, and most of them are very positive though. So I don't know. We'll see.
Most of them are positive and fake, but we'll see. She said something like, she said something silly, and then Jeff questioned her on it, and then she said, well, whatever you say with confidence. So if she just said things with confidence, I think she'll be good.
She said scotch free instead of scot free, and Jeff didn't know what the right one was either. So it is scot free, I believe. Like getting off scot free. It was like a weird little moment. Let's see. Like from what I saw, she basically wanted to float. I mean, maybe that's what I gathered. Did you not gather that, or did you gather that?
She mentioned, like, it seems like she wants to float, but then on the other hand, she mentioned that she won't throw comps, and she actually
That's right, yeah.
She actually wants to win the first HOH because she's someone who's not promised to win every time, and she wants to take the win she can get. So I'm not really sure if I get complete floater vibe from her, even though she does like Casey. And
well, Casey won comps too, though. You can,
right. I think she has a lot of strategic potential in her, actually. I just think that she doesn't know the game well enough to. I think that she did her research as well as she could before getting into sequester. She mentioned that she checked Twitter and everything and saw stuff on Twitter about her. So I think she knows enough about the game, and I think she's actually going to pick up on it pretty quickly. Like I have faith. I have faith in her.
All right. I mean, we can, we can disagree a little bit. I mean, she did say at the end that she would rather win and be hated. So, like she's saying like half good things, half bad things to me, which is a very recruity thing to do. But like you said, she can learn. Like I'm hoping she learns.
We've seen it before. We've seen it so many times. Like how many recruits end up being awesome players?
But how many make a mistake in the first few weeks and get voted off week 3? Like it happens sometimes.
It happens.
See, she's another one of the dog lovers. She has a dog named Boss, which is, walk like the boss. So she said something kind of dumb. She's like, if someone blindsides her, they're going to be on her radar. And I'm like, yeah, right?
Thank you. I mean, if someone blindsides you, it's already too late. You're already beyond help.
Someone backdoors me. They're on my radar next week. Oh shit! The vote was 7-4. No, I'm gone.
Oh no, I took it even as if someone blindsides her with the vote to evict if it's not her. But by then it's already too late.
Yeah.
You can't get revenge on people in the majority unless you're strategic about it.
Yeah, that's true. Or if you win the HOH.
Or if you win that, yeah, I mean, true. I'm used.
She does what, and she does want to win. All right. I mean, I don't know. You're saying she'll make it far. I'm gonna say she has potential, but I don't think she'll get there. I think she'll be out early. That's just what I think.
Fair enough.
Oh, this next house guest. I love this next house guest. I hope she makes it far.
Me too.
Our next house guest is Kemi. I don't know how to say her last name. Facnul. Facnul.
Facnul, probably.
I apologize if I butcher your name. She's from, she lives in Brooklyn, New York, though she's from D.C., though she claims she's a Brooklynite already, despite only living there for 6 months. Calm down. Real New Yorker here. You're not in New York unless you live here at least a year or two. She's a marketing strategist. She claims to be positive, goal-oriented, and she claims to be a bitch. Favorite house guest? Rachel Riley. Miranda, thoughts?
Yes. Well, Paul, what I get from her is that she really wants to fucking win. Yeah, you think she wants to win? Because I think she wants to win. Well, does she have what it takes to win? I think so. I think she has it in her. She's a fucking queen. She just wants her money and she's willing to do anything for it. And she said a lot of things that I really liked. Like, I loved how she put things like friends for the purposes of the show. And just seems to have a very level head and just a very good separation from reality, not reality TV. Like, separation from reality TV and reality.
She is the realest person on this show. She's the realest person in this cast. It was great. Like the interview was, I mean, first of all, laser focus on the game. It's like, look, I want to get in there and I want to fucking win. I don't care about anyone else. I mean, here's what I think is going to happen. She's going to get in and be really close with some people, and the strategy is going to change mid to late game. But early on, she can be cold-hearted, like cold-hearted as she wants to be, and I think that'll get her pretty far. The only issue I see for her is she says she has a hard time biting her tongue. So we may see some like fights throughout the house, because we did have a couple of other people who said that they had a hard time doing the same thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, just a lot of things about her just scream bad jury management to me. Like, I think that she could have the potential to burn a lot of bridges just with her way of like saying, I hope one of us could be rich and I hope it's me, like in regards to making friends on the show. I definitely get the sense that she's going to be a strategic or a mostly competitive player, like rather than a social one. She's willing to do what she needs to socially, but I think she's going to be mainly strategic and competitive. And I think she's going to stay true to herself while still whatever she has to do to win.
She also says that she does not like emotional people, which is going to be. I think that's actually like I was thinking about it, like in like many levels. Like, oh, that's it's not a bad trait to hate emotional people, but in Big Brother, people get emotional all the time, and you got to be able to like comfort these people sometimes. And that's that. And like you said with jury management, that helps with jury management being able to comfort these emotional people. And if she's like playing too hard, getting on people's bad sides, and she doesn't know how to like properly care for people when they're like in the dumps, like down, like crying in their rooms, as we see so many times. I don't know. She'll make it far, I think, but she could very well even be someone they want to drag to the end. It's very possible if she plays the way we think she's going to play.
Yeah, that is possible, and that could be an idea. She also claims she's not interesting, but I'm wondering why casting likes
that. Claims not to be interesting, but one of her adjectives, she calls herself a bitch. I mean, okay, girl, relax. You're interesting, and you're like, yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah, she's one of the more interesting ones, in my opinion. I just really like the competitive, willing to do whatever players. Well, as everyone does, but
a fucking man. All right, well, let's get to our next house guest. We have dun 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 dun. We have Jessica Milagros. She says she's 30-ish. She's lives in Oak Park, Illinois, and she's a plus-size model. She claims to be affectionate, passionate, and creative. Favorite house guest, Dan from season 10. Miranda, thoughts?
yeah, the number one thing that stuck out is how she wants to lie low, but doesn't know if it's possible for her. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible for you either, girl. I think that you're gonna have to play off of being a target early, because you might just be a target very early. You could be seen as overplay. I am talking to her like she's right here, but she could be.
She'll watch this after. Don't worry.
As overplaying just in just her marketing experience, and she's a chameleon, she mentioned, so if that's true, that'll really come in handy, but at the same time that could raise some like red flags if people catch on to it. If she doesn't get an alliance right away, I think she might be in trouble.
Yeah, I think she'll be seen as one of those like easy week things. She'll probably be like that type of player that really like becomes close with like one player, and that's actually what she wants to do. Actually, she wants to like befriend one strong person, and maybe that person will help her. Maybe they won't. My guess is usually they don't help. It's like Scotty and Steve from last season. I mean, that relationship did not help, but they were super mega close. So I don't know. I think she's going to be an early boot, but she seems fun. She's a mother and a wife. She talked about her family a lot. Gonna miss them, but I just don't see her getting too far. She's going to talk too much, despite saying that she's not.
And she just seems confused. She wants it all. Like, I like her, but when it came to the love and be hated, or love and be hated, to the win and be hated versus lose and be loved, she wants it all.
Yeah.
She wants it all. She wants to win and be loved. And frankly, girl, I don't think you're gonna do either.
I want to love and I want to be loved and hated too. I mean, but it's the best of both worlds right there.
I think America will like her. I think I'll like her, but I don't know if she's going to be a strategic player.
I think she's just going to be right in the middle on jokers, like it's not really, people aren't going to think about her too much.
Right.
Fun fact about her though, her first job out of college was riding the Hershey Kissmobile. Done. So that's pretty cool.
Goals.
Yeah, goals. Count it. All right. Let's get to our next house guest. We have my man, Cliff Hug III. He's 53 years old. He's from Houston. He's a petroleum engineer. Claims to be funny, stubborn, and caring. Favorite house guest, Derek and Dan from season 10. Miranda, thoughts?
So yeah, I heard dirt on a few of these contestants, but like he's one that I just heard dirt about. I heard that he's gotten backlash on Twitter because of like racist and misogynistic comments. So I'm very interested to see if he sparks controversy on TMZ, maybe makes a TMZ story if he's even in the house for that long for feeds, because I think he'll most likely just be first boot. Just it's the odds. It's how it usually goes. He has life experience, obviously. He mentioned having guns pulled on him and all that, but I don't think it'll matter much with this cast because I think this cast in general is younger. Am I wrong?
Yeah, they're mostly upper 20s, low 30s, and then the few at the end were low 20s. So yeah, mostly 20 to like 30, I would say.
Okay, then maybe it's all over the place, but I liked how he doesn't want a lackluster season and wants to like get in an alliance so he can target people that aren't him. So I think if he can actually do that, because he realizes that he needs to play a proactive game to not be first boot. So
Yeah,
he
he's
can
definitely a fan of the show.
yeah, he's willing to backstab people. He's willing to do all that. I just don't know who he'd align with.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's hard to see. You know, the people that click, you know, aren't always who you expect. Yeah, he's a very good potential first week target, like you said. And it's always, you know, it's disappointing. It's usually the older person that gets targeted immediately. That's just the way Big Brother works. The only exceptions maybe being Kevin from Big Brother 19 and Jerry from Big Brother 10. That's
Right.
because one won HOH and one was just like the most charismatic guy ever. Now this guy's actually relatively charismatic. You know, he seems like he knows how to talk to people, which is a good. If he can, you know, it really depends who wins HOH and what their motivations are. If they want an easy week, he's gonna go home. If they want to go balls to the wall and make a big move, maybe he'll stay. But I don't know. He said, yeah, he says he knows that the old guy usually goes early, but he knows that the first 2 weeks will be a lot easier for him. And he's right. I mean, that's actually really anyone can go in the first 2 weeks. That's a real Big Brother. After 2 weeks, it's a completely different game. Then your real strategy goes into place. But him especially will have a good shot.
I just want to see the token old guy actually like get into an alliance and not play a middle game. Like
Yeah.
that's what they always have to do. Like they never get into a solid group, so they end up having to play the middle. And I just I want to see him actually have an alliance and be able to pull things off and maybe show us something that an old dude hasn't before.
I unfortunately am going to predict pre-jury just based on statistics. But Cliff, respect. He says that he would rather win and be hated because he'll have 500,000 don't give a dams. Loved it. Love it. And fun fact, he swam with alligators and learned how to drive at the age of 7. I can see it.
Did you catch his response for the win and be hated question? Because I thought he said a big old mosquito.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that means. I really don't know what that means.
I thought that's what I caught, but I just wanted to ask you.
No, you are 100% accurate. But I don't know what that means. But all I know he says is that he'll have 500,000 don't give a dams. So to me, that means he'd rather win. That's how I took it.
Fair enough.
plus he's 53. I mean, like he doesn't care about social media and all that stuff. I mean, who would at that age? Actually, you know, in 30 years we probably all still will. But you know, whatever.
In 30 years, we're still going to be updating our Instagram stories.
Hopefully it's another one by then.
But then there's going to be Twitter stories.
Oh god, there's too many stories. Like, you know, just read a book. All right. Anyway, on to our next house guest. And he's one of my favorites. We have our boy Avi Kabir, I'm just gonna say Kabir confidently. He's 22. He's a Tennessee college student. He claims to be relatable, motivated, and brown. Yeah, I can see him being brown. His favorite house guest is Hayden Moss. Miranda, thoughts?
Wait, he said Hayden for his favorite house guest?
Yeah. It's bizarre.
That is bizarre. That's
based on everything he said, it was very bizarre.
I think they did show them BB16 in Sequester, but he did mention how he studied Big Brother for a philosophy class, or not a philosophy class, a sociology class. And
yeah,
that just doesn't seem consistent with it. But anyway, he's a strong winner contender for me. He's a good talker. He's really self-aware. He studied Big Brother like for his class, and he clearly has game because his girlfriend's hot as fuck. Have you seen his girlfriend?
I have not seen his girlfriend.
He has a really hot girlfriend, so I know he's got game. He's good with people, and he's probably gonna have a primarily social game. And I can see him getting along with the next house guest that we have, actually.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I really liked this guy. He was, man, I wasn't expecting it. Like he said, oh, a teacher showed me the show, and I was like, oh, our professor rather, whatever, showed me the show, and I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, I got really into it. I watched almost all the seasons. I'm like, yo, yes, this is what I want to hear. And number one, he's a political science major. I'm a political science major. This is my man right here. Avi, me and you, he lives in Tennessee. That's way too far. But anyway, yeah, I want to meet this guy after the show, whether he's like early boot or late boot. I think he's going to make it far, like you said. I like how he said he's loyal only to his family and his dog. Another dog reference. I love it. But, too many dogs.
Family, dog, and girlfriend, unfortunately for me.
He didn't say anything about his girlfriend in the interview, though.
Oh yeah, he did.
Oh, he did? Oh wow, I completely just must have missed it. He said he will backstab if he's gotta.
A what?
He will backstab if he's gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's got what it takes.
He's got what it takes. You go, Avi. All right, let's get to our. Yeah, I think he's going to go really, really far.
Mm-hmm. And I think he has what it takes to win over a jury as well. Like he's just the type that would get jury votes. Like he doesn't piss people off.
He's the type that when he talks, you smile.
Yeah.
I like those people. All right, let's get to our next house guest. We have Nick Macaron. He is 27 years old. He's from New Jersey. He is a therapist. He claims to be outgoing, caring, and talkative. His favorite house guest, Tyler. What do you think?
Well,
first impressions?
So here's the impression I got. I think I like Nick. And I say that because that's just the feeling he gives me, because he has so many contradictions. He has good ideas, and he blurts out some good ideas in his interview, but then he contradicts it with something else later on. I think he's honestly probably the biggest wild card in this cast that they have, because he says that he wants to do whatever it takes to win, but he also wants to be honorable. He wants to talk politics, which could make him polarizing, and he mentions that he's aware of that.
I hope he doesn't talk politics.
Don't talk politics in Big Brother. He also wants to confront people, yet wants to be friends with everyone, and he's just all over the place. I think he's confused, but I think it could also work out well in his favor if he has such ambiguous qualities, like all over the place, and he's like kind of confused on how he wants to play. I could see it working out well and kind of being a chameleon of sorts.
Yeah, I think people will not know where he stands in the house, but I think that could very well be to his benefit. I mean, like Johnny Mac in season 17, a lot of people never knew where he stood, like at any point of the game, and he still made it to jury.
Final five, right?
Yeah, but I mean, he did get voted off before that, but because Benny won the buyback. But yeah, I think he'll definitely make it far. He's like to me, he was like the most awkward house guest, and even his picture, which I'm just going to show again. Like he has a very awkward picture. Like he doesn't know how to doesn't know. No. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. He just doesn't know how to smile, like in front of a photo. And I'm not photogenic either, so I can kind of like understand. So yeah, I mean, I did kind of like him, but I'm not really sure. He says, I did love that he said he's gonna play the game and not eat 500 boxes of cereal.
He threw enough shade. He also mentioned how he didn't like Rachel from last season, which I love because she went off about that on Twitter. She was like, "Don't stand it."
But you know what? People still talking about her, so just
keeping her relevant. So she should be happy.
He says nothing. One thing. I mean, he's kind of weird because he said nothing bothers him, but he'll go off on people. Like I don't understand. If nothing bothers you, you won't have to go off on anybody.
Exactly. Like, what are you going to go off on people about if nothing's bothering you, sir?
He's a very P personality, which I can relate to because I'm like 95% P personality, which is kin to like being extremely spontaneous. The complete opposite of being orderly. So yeah, I can see him being fun, like being a fun person to watch. Because I don't think he'll just do one thing. He'll do he'll have like 30 ideas.
Yeah, I could see him being like all over the place, maybe in the middle, maybe in multiple alliances on contrasting sides.
Yep.
And he plans to use some psychology stuff, which is great in theory, but he's not gonna have enough intel in the game to be able to use it accurately with the way that he's, I feel like, I don't know, if he knows how to play the middle correctly, he could definitely do something with that. But I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah, using psychology, it's an interesting strategy. It never works. Never really works unless you're like a Derek or someone that's like really ingrained. Like, hey, it was like his job to like ingrain himself in like social groups for the sake of investigating. Unless you're like one of those people, then no, it's not going to work for you. Although he is a therapist, so he has some like in tune knowledge, but I don't know. We'll see.
But he doesn't seem to be in tune with himself and his game enough to know, I just don't think he's in touch with that enough.
Fair enough. Fun fact about him, he was voted most talkative in high school out of 700 students, and he bowled a 300 5 times. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Not bad, Nick. On that note, I think we'll head to our next house guest.
Oh no, not this house guest.
We have it's spazzing out. Okay. Hello. All right, well, we'll just go on you. We have Jack Matthews. There we go. Jack Matthews, he is 28 years old. He is from Florida. He lives in Florida, rather. He's from Chicago, and he is a fitness trainer. He claims to be honest, have integrity, and character, whatever the hell that means. Did not have any favorite house guests because it didn't even show the question, so he's almost 99% a recruit. His motto is keep it simple, which was very in tune to everything he said. What are your impressions on this guy? I'm guessing you didn't like him too much.
Well, I think a better question is who's not a recruit. But no, I fell asleep during his interview. I didn't enjoy him very much at all. I think he mentioned that he's going to be a physical player, but he's going to pick his wins wisely. Okay. He's most likely to team up with, or no. Sorry, that wasn't him. I was totally reading the notes. He says that he's average at a lot of stuff, and if he's average at enough stuff, like he could have something to talk about with house guests. So,
yeah, that's true.
I guess that could come in handy if he dabbles in a lot of things, maybe like a jack of all trades.
Yeah, a jack of all trades. Yes, yes.
Yes. Hashtag.
What?
That should have been his hashtag.
It should have been. And that is our quote of the night, people. Jack of all trades. Hashtag Jack of all trades on Twitter. Like, I mean, maybe someone will do it. One thing interesting I liked about him, he said that he doesn't want to win HOHs too much because he knows he'll put a target on his back. But then he followed up with something that I thought was a little bizarre, which, actually, no, I don't know. I'm thinking about it too much. But he wants to win vetoes, like every veto. So if he's in a veto competition, he'll always want to win veto, which I guess makes sense. So no one backdoors you for sure. But like, if you don't want to win HOHs because you don't want to be a target, winning vetoes is also going to put a target on you. It's like, right. You can't live in both worlds, Jack. You can't do it.
I mean, I guess you could just win veto every time if you're getting on the block every time, because then you're always going to play in veto. But otherwise, you're not always going to play in veto. You're not always guaranteed that,
True.
He's emotional. He mentioned being emotional. Like, like that.
He didn't really talk too much, honestly. He's gonna miss his dog, and that's all that counts.
Misses.
He wants to win and be loved. But he also wants to do what you have to do. I don't understand. I really don't. Like, these people just like, I wanna be loved, but I'm also gonna do what I gotta do to win. Okay. I mean, clearly not.
Like, I just don't get how they made it through casting interviews contradicting themselves so much. Because usually, like, I always thought that they wanted someone with like straight, like, just 100%, like, this is my opinion, this is what I'm gonna do, not really
that's a job interview, yeah. Just like a job interview. Yeah.
Like, you want to be sure of those things, and I'm just kind of surprised that so many people like seem to have conflicting opinions on how to play the game.
Like, I think it's because like they went into they got sequestered. I mean, this is just my opinion. This is just my opinion. So I think they got sequestered, watched like a season or two, and realized that their original strategy was awful, or something like that. Basically, so they don't even know what they want to do anymore, and it's not really going to be helpful for them. Though, a fun fact about Jack, he can walk on his hands. And he can snatch 275 pounds, which is apparently an Olympic term. Don't know what that means, but anything with 275 pounds that you can do anything with is pretty impressive. So good on you, Mr. Matthews.
But can you snatch a wig? You snatch wigs, though, Jack.
I think, I think he's got potential. Oh, whoops. Oh Lord, I did not mean to share my screen there. All right. Anyway, we're on to our next house guest. Now we have our man Jackson Mitchie, or Mikey. I think it's Mitchie. He's 24 years old. He lives in LA, but he's from Tennessee. He is a server. He claims to be driven, assertive, and confident. Favorite house guest, Paul. Impressions? He had a very long interview, I remember.
Yeah, I vaguely remember his interview, but I don't remember too much about it because I also fell asleep during his interview as well. I just remember him saying that, well, no, actually, I remember noticing that he went to the same college as Ovi.
Interesting. So they're only like 2 or 3 years apart, I think.
Oh,
yeah, 2 years. Yeah, 2 years apart, so they could know each other.
I think that could be relevant. I think he's most likely to team up with Cliff if anyone does.
Maybe, yeah, that's a good point.
I could kind of see that, or with any other like guy. Like I could see teaming up with Jackson or Cliff.
Yeah, he I mean, he was weird. I mean, he claims to be really convincing. I mean, you didn't convince me that you were convincing, Jackson. I'm sorry. He's going to strategize which competitions to try to win, which, it's always a I mean, first of all, you never know if you're going to win a competition anyway. So it's either, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think I'm just being too judgmental about it, maybe. But he does want to win. I think the first HOH he said, But one thing I did like is that he knows he'll have to adapt throughout the game. So he knows, he'll have to change strategies. He knows that when he's talking to certain people, maybe just say one thing and not another. So he knows to play it up. I guess really he knows to be fake, but being fake wins you Big Brother sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, what's your prediction for him? How do you think he's going to do?
I don't know. If he makes it far, I think he'll do well because he'll know how to play the jury. But although we don't actually know if he's convincing or not. I'm taking this at face value. I don't think he's probably not because most people aren't really convincing. But if he is, I think he'll make it far. If he's not, he'll say something stupid and get voted off early.
Right.
Fun fact about him, though, he used to write papers in high school for money, and he can shotgun a beer in 2.5 seconds.
Wow, aren't you a hard ass?
What a total waste of beer. Like you need to sit down and enjoy a beer, Jackson. Come on.
Absolutely.
All right. We have our next house guest. Oh, it's spazzing out again.
Moving again.
All right. Anyway, well, we'll put it on you for now until the thing stops spazzing. We have Christy Murphy. She is 28 years old. She is from Keyport, New Jersey, but she lives in Keyport, New Jersey, but she's from Staten Island, and she is a boutique owner. She claims to be outgoing, an overachiever, and edgy. Her picture never actually stopped spazzing, so here it actually is now, guys, because always last minute. Her favorite house guests are Jeff and Jordan, and she also mentioned Paul, and then she also mentioned Dan. So she has a lot of favorites, it seems, but she is a super fan from what I've seen. What are some of your impressions?
She mentioned her strategy was like getting close to the girls and comforting them and like getting close to everyone and like flirting with people and stuff, right? Like this was her.
She wanted to use her sexuality. She's a lesbian as a benefit because she'll use that to get close to the guys. But she'll also knows that she won't be threatening to the girls either because some of the girls will be fawning over some of the guys, and because she's a lesbian, she can like talk to those girls who won't see her as a threat to whatever showmance those random hypothetical people would get into.
Right.
Let's pretend I worded that better. I think I did an okay job.
I got where you were going with it, but I think since these people have seen Big Brother 20, I think she might remind them of Caitlyn too much because she reminded me of Caitlyn a lot, and she's really emotional. So I don't know if they have that connection with it. They might not. If they give her a chance, I think she'll do okay. But I don't think her strategy is going to go over well, knowing that people might kind of relate her to Caitlyn from last
year. And what was her strategy, Miranda?
Her strategy was to kind of use her sexuality.
Oh, right. All right. We just mentioned it. Okay. So, yeah, she started watching season 8. She wants to play slow from what I saw in the interview. So she kind of pick it up later. Wants to align with a male and a female. So I'm guessing she's taking a page off of Derek from season 16, who did that and won. I think I'm not sure if she wants to do them together or like separate. Separate's always better in my opinion. So hopefully she does it that way. She apparently whistles a lot. So we might see her whistle a lot in the house, apparently. According to her, like the questions that she answered for CBS, she mentioned like her whistling like 3 or 4 times, and apparently like her exes used to always complain about it.
Oh, speaking of exes, did you know that she dated Tommy's aunt?
Tommy's aunt.
Tommy's aunt. Tommy from this cast.
Yes. How old is Tommy's aunt though? She's 28.
No clue. I won't judge. But she was tagged in in an Instagram photo with him and his aunt.
You know what? They're both from Staten Island, so there could be a connection there. Okay, that's interesting. CBS, what are you doing?
CBS, what are your plans?
What are you doing, CBS? She also said she would rather lose and be loved. So already a bad, I mean, almost everyone said that. So, no, I'm not going to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say, no, bad answer. Don't say that, people. Like, I hate when people, even the super fans, like, they get asked the question and they're like, no, I've never heard that question before. Like, and and you can tell in their eyes that they're serious, and they say, lose and be loved. No, stop. You're not a real super fan.
Nope. You're just mistaken. You're lying to yourself saying you're a super fan.
They think they're fans, but they ain't. All right, so fun fact. She takes a bubble bath every night, and she dated men for 9 years before realizing she didn't like them anymore.
It happens.
It happens. All right, let's get to our next. I don't know. I think she'll probably. I really think early boot, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna say definitively, early boot.
I'll say maybe like 4th or 5th boot.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Now we're going to our next house guests. We have Sam Smith. He is 31 years old. He lives in Pennsylvania, and he is a truck driver. Claims to be outgoing, bold, and comical. Favorite Big Brother player, Derek. Real family guy from what I remember. Miranda, what are some of your thoughts on Sam?
He reminds me a lot of, just for some reason, Jeff from BB17, like the Amazing Race dude. He reminds me a lot of him for some reason. He seems like a douche.
Is it his face? They have similar faces.
It was the way he talked. It was the way he talked in the face, kind of, and I'm not really sure, but that's who he reminded me of. I don't remember a lot about him other than he said that he switched political beliefs and people don't like him for that, which I find interesting. He's probably very polarizing. I don't know if he mentioned that he liked to talk about politics, but
we have a few people on the cast that like to talk about politics. I mean, we have the political science Avi. We have that. We have Cliff, I believe, who likes debating politics. Mm-hmm. I mean, political science major. I don't watch Big Brother for politics. I mean, especially since I know how diverse in opinions America is. I don't want to go on Twitter and see people fighting each other on politics. I want people dragging, favorites for other reasons, I want people to drag house guests for stupid stuff that they said, not related to politics. I've had enough of politics. I do that in my free time. Anyway, go ahead. That's political rant.
No, that's pretty much all I had to say on him.
Yeah, so he's a big family guy. Loves his family. Says he never liked kids until he had them. That's what happens. I really love the line. He's like, yeah, I used to hate kids, then I had my own, and now I love kids. It's like, yeah, I mean that's kind of what happens. I
would hope so.
This was the guy who planned to come in and make the biggest alliance in history until he realized when he was sequestered that was a really stupid thing to do. Now he just wants to float for a little bit and focus on his social game, which, not a great strategy, but at least better than the one that he said he originally had.
Okay, so this was the guy. So he's gonna be a mess. He's gonna just wander aimlessly, I feel. I don't think he has
Maybe.
an idea of what he's doing. He might catch on, but I don't think he has an idea of what he's doing.
Yeah, but he does seem like he seemed like a likable guy. I didn't think it at first, like when I saw his picture, but during the interview he seemed nice, sociable, family, a family guy, a family guy. It seems nice. He said he would rather be hated and win, because he says at the end of the day, as long as his family loves him, like he doesn't care.
I liked that. I liked that.
Yeah. And he wants an alliance similar to Derek and Cody, but does not want to pull a Cody. he says if he has an alliance like that, he's not taking his ride or die. He's taking Victoria. You tell him, Sam. So, fun fact: he was a model of the week in Weekender magazine. Congratulations to you, sir.
Congrats.
Yeah, he's got like an actor face. I can see him doing some things and some commercials maybe. Yeah, I can see it. He also was in a commercial too. That was another fact about him.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to our next house guest, and hopefully my machine doesn't spaz on me, but you never know. Let's get to our girl Annalise Talavera. Annalise Talavera. She's 22, lives in California. She's a college soccer star, or was. She apparently graduated I guess in May. She claims to be funny, outgoing, and confident. Doesn't have a favorite house guest because it didn't even show the question, which means she's probably a recruit. Miranda, thoughts?
She's probably a recruit because people from Big Brother were like, oh, let's just get someone who looks like Lauren from Edge of Extinction. We love Lauren from Edge of Extinction. She looks a lot like Lauren. They're both college soccer stars. Like that was their title for both.
It was. It's true.
What else did I say about her?
We're talking about Lauren from Survivor. For those of you who don't watch Survivor, like the 5% of you that don't watch both.
I apologize
to the small minority.
But she didn't seem. I don't know if it was just the fact that she was the first interview that I saw or what, but she didn't seem like a great talker at all when I was watching it, and I'm a little worried about that. She doesn't seem like a good talker. She might be kind of bad socially, but I feel like she could be a good competitor.
Yeah, I mean, she nothing really stuck out about her during her interview. It was kind of Snoresville for me. Which is funny because she claims to be funny, outgoing, and confident. I mean, maybe show some of those things if those are the things that you are. She does love her dog, though, like half the other cast members. So she's
her part.
Yeah, at least she's different. Her strategy is she wants to play both sides of the house, but she's not gonna tell anyone that she's doing that. Oh, whoa!
Never find out.
What? You gotta play both sides and you gotta keep it to yourself?
I thought you would just tell them. Just be upfront.
Hey, I'm playing the other side too, okay? Just,
guys.
For this HOH, I'm with you, but next HOH, I'm with them. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah.
Just letting you know, I haven't really picked a side yet.
I'm that weird vote every week. So she wants to play like Casey, but is also very competitive. I mean, Casey won, so it's not like I can knock it, but
Casey won stuff. Like Casey won comps.
Yeah.
She won shows, right?
Yeah. She won like a ton of competitions. She was like 3-4 HOHs, or no. I don't remember exactly what she won, but she won comps like like a lot. Um,
She said that she's a bad liar, or not a bad liar. She said that she's a good liar, but I feel like she'd be better just being a loyal member of an alliance. Like, I feel like that shouldn't really be her game, like to lie. I don't know. I I feel like she'd be better as like a loyal member of an alliance playing like a Casey type game.
I wish she told us more because I feel like she could surprise us because like I feel like she was just out of her comfort zone during the interview. Because she did say she would rather win and be hated. So, there's respect there. So there was some like there's some understanding of what she's doing in the game. She wants to win, but I don't know. She could be like one of those people who learn the game as they go along, or maybe she's like maybe she just didn't tell us everything. That's what I'm really thinking it is.
There's more than meets the ear.
Yeah, there's more than meets the ear. it's in this case because we do listen to the interviews. Anyway, fun fact about her: she collects pennies face up for good luck, and she's a notorious prankster. So we have her prank person in the house.
Oh, we have our James of BB21.
Though more realistically, she's going to prank a guy, and then the guy's going to prank her like 50 times because he's into her. If I've learned anything from Big Brother pranksters, it's that. Anyway, let's get on to our last and final house guest. We've made it, folks. You've made it too. Everyone, clap as we get ready for Isabel Wang. She's 22 years old. She lives in LA, but she's from New Jersey. She's a public health analyst. She claims to be spontaneous, reckless, and generous. Her favorite house guest, herself. So original. I mean, I saw a lot of those back in back during the Survivor cast analysis. Who's your favorite Survivor? What player? Me. All right. You're so original. Yeah. Miranda, thoughts?
Well, she also climbed Mount Kilimanjaro like Jack, which is interesting. That's cool. She recently lost 50 pounds, and
Yes.
she could be good at physical competitions. I could definitely see that. It's not easy to lose 50 pounds at all.
Definitely not. No.
And which past Big Brother cast member did you like the most? I liked when Isabella Wang won.
Isabel Wang. Yeah,
What an icon. I like her sense of humor. I hope it goes over well with the rest of the cast because I think she does have a sense of humor, and I think I like her, and she, yeah.
Yeah. Just so part of her strategy, she talked a lot about making connections with people, and she basically rattled on about that every time a question was asked about strategy. It was really all social game, social game, social game. I literally wrote that in my notes like 3 times, like in succession. That's really all she wanted to talk about. Social game, social game, social game. Or social game is going to get her far. I mean, we've heard this line before, and maybe it will. Maybe it won't.
But how are you going to make connections with people? How are you going to do things? Like they never go into the how. They just go, oh, my social game. I'm going to use my social game. But okay, when and how?
She also has 13 tattoos, which is, cool, pretty badass. Good for her. She the way she answered the America question at the end, she doesn't think America can hate her if the jury loves her. Now, let me explain something. Okay, if you watch Big Brother, winners, the dynamics in the house are different than the dynamics that the viewer, between the viewers and the cast. There are house guests in the house that people love in the house. Oh, I love this house guest so much. They're so funny. Think Frankie Grande from BB16. People in the house really, really loved him, but a lot of people outside the house did not like him that season. And if Frankie made final 2, he probably would have won, but America would not have, he would have been a good winner, at least in my opinion, because he played well. But people did not like him personally, as fans. So this is just the wrong mindset. Like, you should only play for the jury to like you. She should have said, "I only care that the jury likes me." That's all. That's what she should have said. Because if there's life after there's after Big Brother, there's more life. There's just stuff to do after the game, and what people think doesn't really matter. People's opinions can be changed, like some other like one of these other house guests said before that I completely forgot who it was. I just rambled for like 2 minutes. All right. Do you have anything more to say about her?
Not really. I think you kind of hit it on the head with that.
Fun fact about her, and this is an exact quote. When I was in 5th grade, my dad took me to China because he used to frequently fly back to the motherland because they're Chinese. And he left me in the middle of nowhere for 2 months because he said I was being a brat and that he grew up eating toothpaste during the Cultural Revolution. What a
survivor.
What a fucking icon. Yes, I love it. Oh my Lord. And her father grew up during the Cultural Revolution. That's like, man, that's crazy. That's a crazy time. Ugh.
What a badass.
It's actually really especially with all those Hong Kong things happening now with going against China. It's a very timely reference. Anyway, I shouldn't get into politics here. Anyway, so that's our cast, guys. I don't know. I'm on two minds. I'm always on two minds. I'm disappointed that there's so many recruits, like there always is. I'm not. You know what? No. I'm not happy. I'm not a happy camper. I'm not of two minds. I'm not happy with the cast. But maybe they'll surprise me. There's always that glimmer of hope in my hearts that that maybe it'll be an okay season. But I'm betting it's not going to be that great of a season. Miranda, what do you think?
Overall, I disagree. I kind of like the cast, but at the same time, I think they're so confused. I think they are so confused, and I think if they just knew the game better or actually watched Big Brother, a lot of these people would have way better ideas. And I just really hope they catch on to it, because you never know who's going to catch on to the game quickly and who's going to adapt really quick. So I'm excited to be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. We can agree to disagree. Though I would say on a statistical level, the likelihood of the season being bad in the recent seasons is more likely than it being good. So I'm betting on me being right, but I'm hoping that I'm not. It's always, like I said, there's always the hope. I hope that you're right. So
optimistic. I follow the first couple weeks, and then and then I kind of sit back and evaluate, and then I decide if I want to watch it more. So we'll know within the first few weeks.
Yeah, that's how it usually goes. I'm completely with you there. All right, so we have a tradition in Reality Room where we pick a male and female to be first boot, and we pick a male and female to win it all. And you know what? You guys can do this at home too. Go into the comment section and say, wow, this person doesn't know what the hell they're doing. They don't even look like Big Brother material. They're going to get in that house. They're going to completely destroy themselves within 7 days, get nominated on the block, lose the veto, and then just get voted off. First boot. But another house guest. Who do you think is going to win it all? Take it to the end. Oh, my Lord. They're so amazing. This person plays exactly how I think I would play, and I'm a winner. So obviously they're going to be a winner too. So who is the house guest you think that's going to win? And the first boot down below. Miranda, who's your first boot? Let's start with the first boot. I'll
go with my male first boot. Like I said, I think it's going to be Cliff.
I hate to agree with people on these things, like when I do a cast analysis, but I can't see anyone else. It's got to be Cliff. You're right.
I see it way. It's predictable. We can hope all we want, um, but and my female first boot.
I'm going with Jessica. Like she'll say something. She could very well say something that will drive people the wrong way early on. I know she's a Big Brother fan, but she has an age issue too. Although actually we don't know her age. She just said 30s, which is so vague, which could mean anything.
Yeah, I think mine might be Holly. I think
Yeah.
Holly might not make the connections or vibe well with people enough to make it past that first week.
I would not mind if it's Holly, because then she can go home and start rescuing dogs.
That would be a fulfilling ending for us all.
Yeah, I can get to the end of that episode and be happy. Anyway, let's get to our winners. I'm going to start with my female winner. I think what I enjoyed this interview so much. I did not even expect to like this person when I saw their picture. I thought it was just like, oh, it's just another like casual nerdy house guest. I like Nicole Anthony from Long Island, New York. I think she's gonna take it. She's gonna take it to the end. Love the New York accent. Love the super fan. Love the strategy. She said everything that I wanted to hear. I know you disagree because you didn't think she would make it too far, but you know what? I'm up. I can be optimistic about certain things. All right, your female pick,
Right.
Or you can do your male pick first, whichever.
I'd like to say Kemi, but I don't think she would self-burning bridges. That's what I really want to say. But I think ultimately, I wouldn't go with Christy, although Christy would probably be one of the females near the top. I'm gonna go with Jessica, actually.
Really? Wow! I said her first boot. You said her winning. This is like a complete one. This is like she's definitely gonna get like 9th now, like literally right in the middle, which is gonna be entertaining in itself.
Yeah, no, I'd say my female winner pick is Jessica right now, and I'd also go and follow with my male pick, which is Ovi.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say I think we both were on the same page with Ovi. I mean, Jesus, he's great.
Yeah.
we talked about him a lot before, but yeah,
there's a lot to uncover with him, and I feel like he has many layers, and I'm excited to see him, and I think he's gonna do really well.
I hope I didn't shoot myself in the foot because he is a little nerdy-ish too. So I picked 2 of the nerdy people, which I hope doesn't shoot me. I mean, like if it wasn't Ovi, I was gonna pick Tommy because like he surprised me a lot too. Like from Staten Island guy, like I wasn't expecting him to go like that, but yeah, Ovi and oh fuck, what's her name? Yep, Ovi and Nicole. Those are my picks, and you have Jessica and Ovi. Okay. All right. That sounds pretty good.
I picked the wild card female winner in there, Yeah.
It could happen. You never know.
You never know.
That's
unexpected.
Expect the unexpected. So let's talk about some of these twists. I know you've been doing some research. What have you found out?
Oh, not a lot actually. Just the possible connections between the house guests, which I already mentioned. I know Holly and I think it was Catherine. I heard that they like did a pageant together, or like were both involved in like Miss USA or something like that. I'm not really sure. And then a couple others were Tommy. Yeah. Tommy and Christy, and the 2 that went to college together, Ovi and Jackson. Yes. I think it was.
Yeah, I believe it was Jackson.
There's a lot of coincidences that could possibly lead to a twist, and I feel like it might have some truth to it or some stuff to back it up, because if you remember like the rumors where they were going to go with the showmance partners, where they were going
Right. Yeah. I remember
to,
that.
they just kind of like worked off of that and went with like certain duos in the house that weren't returning house guests and seeing what to
Mm.
do with that. I really don't know, but I think it's a possibility.
Yeah, they could very well do a duos thing. My friend also sent me something which I don't really think is the case, but there was thinking like a Northerners versus Southerners thing, which is also possible, I guess. But I don't really. I mean, that's not something you can there. It's not something we would know until like next week. But yeah, the relationships with people that are in the house now, that's definitely something worth looking into. And like, is it going to be like one of those things from Big Brother 8 where it's like, hey, these two people know each other and there's bad blood? Or is it going to be one of those, hey, these are duos, it's a partner season, just like season, what season was that? 13, I think.
Uh, oh yeah, I think
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was.
Yeah, so we could go in many different directions. I mean, it's very good research for that you did, Miranda, there on the connections with these people.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
And
I guess.
who on Instagram? There were a couple more that followed each other on Instagram that I'm not remembering right away, but
Hmm.
know that like other people did research in that. I won't take credit for that. And like they uh certain house guests follow each other. So let's see how it plays out.
Yeah. I mean, we'll know within the first few episodes, I'm sure. All right. I think we'll call it here. This was our house guest analysis. Please follow us on Twitter at Room Podcast, Instagram at Reality Room Podcast. Even though I don't really use Instagram, we have a Patreon which I haven't updated in forever, so you can check that out. It's linked below. Yeah, give us. I mean, give us money, even though I haven't done a video in forever. Um, yeah, I believe the premiere is next Tuesday, actually, the 25th, if I remember correctly, which is interesting that it's on a Tuesday. I don't know if they're changing the schedule up. Do you know at
Yeah,
all?
that is strange. I'm pretty sure it's on the 25th, but I don't know what they're doing as far as the schedule.
Like it actually it makes sense that they would move it to Tuesday, Wednesday because of football that CBS now airs on Thursdays.
Oh.
That really affects episodes. And there's been speculation that they would do that for like a long time, but they never did. It's been like 5 seasons, and it's been 5 years that they had football, and they just never like made that change. I'm hoping they made that change so I don't have to turn on my television and watch it like a Cowboys game or some nonsense like that. Anyway, no offense to the people who like the Cowboys. I mean, the few of you out there. Anyway, yeah, we'll end it there. This has been Reality Room Podcast, and until next time, guys, peace.